by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a six by the morning. I got on a meat, no pneumonia. Rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a bitch. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth. Who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Oakland Raiders. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They go play action here on first down. Henry's got it out on the left side. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
He'll look to throw. It's complete. Henry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Charger first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Gone!
Back to throw now on first down. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Now back to throw. And this will be incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Henry. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. First catch for the NFL's leader in receiving yards at the midway point. It's a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
A good pickup there, a 22. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
They'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Denard. And at the 12, that's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, tried to start it out with a bang, but it's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd down, Bowman. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference, defense.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, you got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Hunter Henry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have taken a first quarter lead. boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Elliott. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now let's go. Green.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix it.
Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
To throw on third down, Bowman. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got the open man. It's Allen on the comebacker. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And now he'll tuck it and run. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. They'll set up to throw. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of...
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, L.A. Keenan Allen with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting them in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
And they'll go on the ground. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
It's complete to Mariani. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, and the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the gun, Bowman finds Jake Butt over the middle. A big play that time for the Raiders, and even 60 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
Moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
So from the 2, now they move back to the 7-yard line. 1st and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Operating from the gun, Bowman. This will be caught at about the 5. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They come out here in the eye. He'll get it up the middle. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Point after try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make it 24-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And it's been a good game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Watch it now, Barney.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
To throw on 2nd down. Bowman. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The Raiders on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hurry up, here we go! Green 39!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's the Raiders punter now as he's on here to punt it away. That's taken on the 25. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. So we have reached, well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Green, 39.
On 3rd down, Bowman over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
All right, here we go.
On 1st and 10, Bowman. A dump underneath to Jones. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And he stopped immediately there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And we spotlight Keenan Allen as he gets set to go back to work. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Chargers player was able to fall on it, and they'll keep possession. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. Looking to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 1st down, Bowman. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Now let's go.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Up behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Off the play fake, Bowman. Cooper's got it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school.
Set, B-19.
Off play action. Bowman. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. A big play that time for the Raiders. 41 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smacking?
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jake Butt, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders get a score closer.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. They'll look to throw now on first down. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. They'll look to throw here on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's 30 yards now in the last two plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Chargers are going to add on to their lead.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball. Guys boxing other guys off to go out and get a rebound.
And he got the rebound right there, but the defense was really placed well.
Yeah, they were right there. I mean, that's where it's really tough for a defender. When you're in the right spot, you're draped on the guy catching the ball, yet he still comes down with it.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And they'll go on the ground across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Looking to throw on second down. Bowman. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Raiders on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 17.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
From the gun, Bowman. The left side completion to Jones. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Desmond King picks it. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Cooper was the intended target.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And he'll get this down to about the 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
It fights him off. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
The Raiders on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Bowman drops it to Jones in the flat. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read. Better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Back to throw. Bowman. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
off, and now big time in the driver's seat. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And room there to work it inside the 25. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And his kick is in good, and their lead will swell up to 28. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. Bowman. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for our visitors, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American